God's final message. Your miracle has been delayed 3 times. Archangel Michael says it's urgent. Open now before it's too late. Listen closely, beloved one, for what you are hearing right now is not a coincidence. It is a divine summons. Heaven has sounded its final alarm, and I, Archangel Michael, have been sent forth with a message sealed by fire and urgency. 3 times your miracle has been delayed. 3 times heaven waited, watched, and measured the weight of your faith. And now, heaven's clock strikes its final call. There are moments in the spiritual realm when silence ends, when God himself commands his messengers to break through the barriers of delay. This moment is one of them. You are not here by mistake. You have been summoned. There is a divine vibration in your spirit, one that pulled you to this very message, because the window for your release is nearing its end. I speak now as the voice of divine truth. The gates that held your miracle are trembling. But heaven warns. This is the last cycle. The trumpet has sounded 3 times before, but the 4th will not be a warning. It will be the fulfillment. And if you do not act, if you remain in stillness, when the heavens move, you risk missing what was designed for you since the foundation of time. You have felt the delay in your bones, the waiting, the wondering, the unanswered prayers. You have cried out and asked, Lord, when will it be my time? And I tell you, your time is now. The battle over your destiny has reached its breaking point. The divine alarm is echoing across realms, calling the chosen ones to awaken. Do not take this moment lightly, for heaven rarely repeats an urgent call. Arise, beloved. Lift your spirit. What has been delayed will now demand your participation. The scroll of your miracle is being opened as you listen to these words. Stand ready, for what happens next will require your faith to move like lightning. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now surrounding you. A loved one, I, Archangel Michael, speak to you now with the authority of heaven. There's a sacred reason your miracle has been delayed 3 times. What you call waiting, heaven calls warfare in motion. What you call silence, God calls a divine assessment. You have walked through 3 distinct seasons, and each one was a test of your alignment, faith, and readiness for divine inheritance. The first delay came to test your endurance. Heaven watched how you would respond when the answer did not come quickly. Angels surrounded you, recording every word, every tear, every act of faith, when you could not see the way. You did not know it then, but your persistence became a heavenly testimony. Each prayer you whispered in frustration was written in light, building the foundation for your coming release. The second delay came to purify your motives. There were blessings that could not fall upon a divided heart. Heaven waited for the fire of surrender to consume every lesser desire. During that time, you were stripped of things you thought you needed. People left, doors closed, opportunities vanished. Yet, what seemed like loss was really divine refining. Heaven was preparing your vessel for the oil of destiny. Then came the third delay, the most painful one. The third delay was not just a pause, it was a spiritual courtroom case. The enemy rose and accused you in the presence of God, pointing to your fears, your failures, your inconsistencies. He tried to use your past to argue that you were unworthy of the promise. But even as those accusations were spoken, the Spirit of God whispered, "Not guilty." And I, Michael, stood at attention, waiting for the signal to descend and strike down every opposing decree. This is what you did not see. While you waited, the heavens were rearranging timelines. The enemy tried to distort divine timing, twisting the moments that should have been breakthroughs into loops of delay. But now, hear me well, the loop has ended. Heaven's clock is realigned with your life. The hidden pattern of delay has been exposed and dismantled. You see, delay is not denial. Delay is preparation. Every heavenly promise must pass through seasons of fire before it can rest upon a soul. The delay refined you, stripped away illusions, and forced you to depend entirely on the voice of God. Without those seasons, your miracle would have been received, but not sustained. Now you are strong enough to carry it. Now you are wise enough to protect it. Yet, beloved, understand this. Though the pattern of delay is ended, the final phase requires your response. Heaven will not move without your agreement. The miracle waits for your declaration, for your willingness to step beyond fear and act on faith. The key is no longer locked in heaven. It is now in your hand. Look back for a moment. Recall how many times you were on the verge of breakthrough, only for something unseen to interrupt the flow. Each interruption was not random, it was targeted. But those same patterns that once worked against you are now being reversed. The river that was blocked has begun to flow again. The walls that held you in spiritual waiting have cracked open under the pressure of divine command. I tell you this with the certainty of heaven's authority. The third delay has reached its end. You are entering the hour of acceleration. What took years will now happen in months. What took months will now occur in days, and what took days will now manifest in moments. The divine order has shifted, and you, yes, you, are standing at the center of that shift. Do not question why the delay happened. Thank God that it did. For every moment of waiting has shaped you into the vessel heaven needs for this miracle. You were not forgotten. You were being forged. You were not rejected. You were being refined for this precise moment in destiny's timeline. And now, the command has gone forth. Prepare yourself. The pattern of delay is broken, but the battle of possession begins. What has been promised is on its way, but it will not wait long. Heaven moves in rhythm, and you must move with it. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 888 is now released over your destiny. Beloved one, I now take you into the realm where time bends before truth, the heavenly courtroom. Here, every promise is weighed, every destiny examined, and every word of your mouth echoes as testimony before the throne. I, Archangel Michael, stand as a warrior of light in that sacred space. I have seen your name written upon a scroll held by the hand of God Himself. Your miracle, your breakthrough, your divine restoration, it has already been decreed. But until now, that decree has been held under spiritual contention. In this courtroom of heaven, there are records older than time itself. There are scrolls that document every prayer, every act of faith, every word spoken in belief, and also every doubt, fear, and curse spoken against your own promise. The enemy knows these records well. He stands as the accuser, holding up your past mistakes like chains, demanding delay, whispering that you are unworthy of divine fulfillment. And for a time, heaven waited. The case remained open. The miracle stayed suspended between heaven and earth, awaiting divine justice. But I tell you now, the gavel is about to fall. Heaven has reviewed the evidence. The accusations have been silenced. The blood of the Lamb has spoken louder than the voice of condemnation. You were accused, but you have been redeemed. You were delayed, but not denied. I, Michael, have stood in that courtroom, sword drawn, awaiting this exact command to enforce the verdict of freedom over your destiny. There are moments when heaven's justice must intervene to overturn spiritual blockages that no human effort can resolve. This is one of those moments. You have stood in faith when no door opened. You have prayed when the heavens seem silent. You have walked through the desert while holding on to a promise. And because of that endurance, your case has reached heaven's highest court. The verdict has been written in golden fire. Release the blessing. I have seen the decree. I have carried it in my hands. The scroll of your miracle has been sealed 3 times, by fear, by unbelief, and by accusation. But the seals have begun to tremble under divine order. The courtroom has shifted. Angels who once stood still are now in motion. Your miracle is being transferred from promise to manifestation. Yet there is urgency. For heaven's decrees must be received, not merely heard. When a word is spoken from the throne, it moves through spiritual realms searching for agreement. That is why this message has reached you now, because your spirit has finally aligned with heaven's timing. God's voice is calling your name, summoning you to stand and declare, the verdict has been overturned. Do not let the enemy's voice linger in your heart any longer. Every accusation has expired under the authority of divine mercy. You must understand this. Heaven does not delay justice. It prepares hearts to receive it. The delays you faced were legal proceedings, spiritual adjustments that ensured your miracle could last. What is coming to you now is not a temporary blessing, but an eternal establishment of divine order in your life. Every spirit that spoke against you has been silenced. Every force that withheld your favor has been commanded to release it. Even now, I see the light of God illuminating your path. The chains of delay are breaking in the unseen. The power of old cycles is losing grip. The courtroom of heaven has reached a conclusion, and the final words spoken over your life are victory, restoration, and divine acceleration. The gavel has struck. The case is closed. It is finished. Type I receive divine justice in the comments if you hear this message. Blessing code 999 is now active in your atmosphere. Beloved listener, as this divine verdict is released over your life, let me speak to you with heavenly urgency. When you give, you are not funding a channel. You are sowing into a field of eternal impact. Every act of support becomes a seed of light that allows God's word to reach more souls who are still trapped in their own delay. Heaven sees every offering as a key that unlocks destinies. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just scripture. It is a living decree that activates harvest the moment faith is expressed. I, Michael, say to you now, your giving becomes a prophetic act that tears open the heavens above your own life. I invite you, in this sacred moment, to join the movement of light. When you use Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not donating. You are partnering with heaven to break delay off nations. The oil that flows from your obedience will return multiplied upon your household. The angels of increase are already moving. So with faith and speak aloud, my seed is unlocking divine acceleration. This is not an invitation, it is a heavenly command. Let your giving become the echo of your yes to God's call. Beloved one, I now speak with the sound of heaven's thunder behind every word. The third seal of delay, the one that has bound your miracle in silence, has been broken. The very atmosphere around you is shifting, for the decree has gone forth. Release the blessing. What has been restrained for years has now been commanded to move. What was locked has been forced open by divine authority. The third delay was the most dangerous, for it was the final attempt of darkness to keep you from entering your appointed time. The first 2 delays tested your endurance and purified your motives. But the third delay was warfare, fierce, relentless, and invisible. It was a battle fought in the unseen realms between heaven's armies and the agents of opposition that surrounded your destiny. Every time you felt weary, every time you thought nothing was changing, the war raged on above you. And now, I, Michael, tell you, the war has been won. You may not see it yet with your physical eyes, but the heavens have shifted. The seal that once covered your miracle has shattered like glass. It did not break easily. It broke under the command of the Almighty, whose voice caused every barrier to tremble. In that moment, the echo of divine release spread across the spiritual realms. Angels who had been waiting in position began to move at the speed of light. Chains that held your promises were severed in one breath of divine power. There was a sound, like the breaking of ancient stone, a vibration that passed through realms, reaching even your atmosphere. The seal did not just release a blessing, it released a command for acceleration. Things that once took years will now take moments. The slow turning of time has been replaced by divine speed. Heaven's calendar has advanced on your behalf. Beloved, I want you to understand this truth. When a seal breaks in heaven, it releases a sequence of events in the natural world. Suddenly, people will appear who were meant to help you. Doors that once refused to open will begin to swing wide without effort. Dreams will return. Peace will rise. Opportunities will align perfectly without your striving. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that the seal of delay has been broken. The Lord allowed 3 delays for a reason, to prepare you for authority. You could not receive prematurely what you were destined to sustain permanently. Every tear you shed, every prayer you spoke in the dark, every night you stayed faithful though tired, it all became the hammer that helped crack the seal. The final strike, beloved, came when you chose faith over fear. Your belief summoned heaven's attention, and the word of the Lord thundered, "Enough." Now, there is a prophetic urgency upon your life. The seal is broken, but the window of manifestation is narrow. Heaven is moving quickly, and you must move in rhythm with divine timing. Do not hesitate when the Spirit prompts you. Do not question the impossible. What is opening before you requires obedience more than understanding. You will begin to notice signs in your environment, numbers repeating, dreams intensifying, divine encounters becoming more frequent. These are confirmations from heaven that the seal is gone, and the flow has begun. The delays have transformed into directives. What was once withheld is now chasing you. But remember, with every release comes responsibility. The third seal did not only release blessings, it released accountability. Guard your thoughts. Guard your words. For now, your decrees carry greater power than ever before. Speak life, not fear. Declare victory, not doubt. You are operating under a new spiritual jurisdiction, one where your words create reality in accelerated form. I tell you this as one who stands before the throne. You are in a divine transition from waiting to walking. The seal that held back your breakthrough has been broken, and the scroll containing your miracle is now being unfolded by angelic hands. As I speak, I see the fire of God surrounding your name, marking you as one who has endured, one who has overcome, one who will now carry the light of fulfilled promise. Do not return to the mindset of delay. The season of waiting has expired. Heaven has declared movement, and movement you shall see. This is the moment you were born for, the hour when God fulfills what He began. Every day from this point forward will reveal the evidence of this divine shift. Stand ready, for manifestation has already started. Type "the seal is broken" in the comments if you received this message. Blessing code 1111 is now activating divine acceleration in your life. Beloved one, listen carefully. The moment a seal of delay breaks, the enemy releases one final wave of confusion. It is the last, desperate attempt to draw your eyes away from what heaven has already placed before you. This is the most dangerous moment in the spiritual timeline, when the miracle is within reach, but the adversary whispers lies to make you question what you already know. You are standing at the edge of manifestation, and that is exactly where the enemy strikes hardest. Do not be surprised if strange distractions begin to surround you. People who had disappeared may suddenly return. Situations you thought were settled may rise again. Unexpected emotions, memories, and doubts may stir within you. These are not random occurrences. They are the enemy's counterfeit signals sent to cloud your discernment. The enemy knows he cannot stop what heaven has released, so he attempts to delay you through deception. You must understand this truth. The devil's greatest weapon after failure is distraction. He cannot revoke your breakthrough, but he can convince you to look away long enough for it to pass by unclean. He thrives in noise, in emotional chaos, in fear, in self-doubt. That is why you must guard your peace as though it were your final line of defense. For in this moment, peace is your shield, and focus is your sword. I, Michael, have seen this pattern countless times. When God delivers his people from the final chain, the enemy launches confusion as a last rebellion. He whispers, "You are not ready. You are not worthy. It will not last." But I tell you now, these are echoes of defeat, not prophecies of truth. The enemy is already trembling because he knows his time is over. He fears your awakening more than he ever feared your waiting. You must not be deceived by the illusions of delay returning. The enemy may attempt to make you think that nothing has changed, that the same cycle has begun again. But no, what you feel is not repetition. It is the aftershock of the seal's destruction. The noise you sense in your life right now is the sound of hell reacting to its loss. It is the sound of territory being reclaimed. Beloved, keep your eyes fixed on the promise. Every distraction sent your way is meant to shift your focus off the miracle that is already unfolding. Guard your emotions. Protect your faith. The greatest act of warfare you can perform right now is stillness, holy stillness that says, "I will not be moved." Do not allow anger, fear, or exhaustion to consume you. The enemy wants to make you react in haste, to make decisions that disrupt divine timing. He will try to stir conflict in your home, misunderstanding among friends, tension in your mind. But you must respond with divine restraint. This is not the hour to fight with flesh and blood. This is the hour to anchor your spirit in obedience. You are being watched, not by enemies, but by angels who are recording your response to this final test. Heaven has already written the outcome, but your actions determine how swiftly it manifests. The enemy has no authority over your promise. He only has influence over your attention. If he can steal your focus, he can delay your perception of what has already been released. So, I speak to your spirit now, be unmoved. When you sense confusion, pause and breathe. When distractions rise, speak the name of the Almighty aloud. When doubt whispers, answer it with faith. You are not in a battle for possession anymore. You are in a battle for perspective. The miracle is already yours. You are simply walking it out on earth as it has been decreed in heaven. Remember this, the enemy's distraction is always loudest right before the silence of breakthrough. Do not mistake noise for authority. The storm is not a sign that God has left you. It is proof that heaven has drawn near. You are moments away from manifestation, and that is why darkness trembles. Stand firm, beloved. The power of distraction ends when you choose focus. The shadow of delay fades when you walk by faith. Lift your eyes. Your promise is closer than it has ever been. Heaven is still speaking, and the enemy can no longer interfere. A final attempt has failed. Type "I will not be distracted" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2121 is now shielding your focus and guarding your promise. Beloved warrior of light, the hour has come for you to rise in power. The seal has broken, the distraction has failed, and now heaven calls you into the most decisive phase of your journey: spiritual warfare. This is not a battle fought with hands or with earthly weapons. It is fought in the unseen, with the fire of your words, the faith in your heart, and the alignment of your spirit. Heaven is summoning you to stand not as a beggar for blessings, but as a commander of divine victory. I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to awaken your war in nature. For too long, the enemy has whispered that you are weak, that you must wait passively for heaven to act. But that is a lie. The kingdom of heaven advances through forceful faith. You are not waiting for God to move. God is waiting for you to move. When you open your mouth with holy authority, angels are deployed. When you declare the word, the unseen world shifts. When you stand in faith, the atmosphere around you bends to divine command. You must no longer live as one being attacked. You must live as one enforcing victory. The battle has already been won in heaven, but it must now be manifested on earth through your spiritual action. Every time you pray with authority, you push back the darkness that tried to delay your miracle. Every time you speak light into your situation, you strengthen the bridge between promise and manifestation. There are ancient gates that open only to the voice of faith. There are demonic strongholds that collapse only when a child of God refuses to bow to fear. This is why your warfare is urgent, because the moment of release has arrived, and your silence can no longer protect you. The enemy is terrified of your awakening because when you discover who you truly are, his grip over your destiny disintegrates. I tell you this with divine clarity. Your words are no longer mere sounds. They are decrees. When you speak faith, it becomes law in the spirit realm. When you rebuke delay, it loses its authority. When you proclaim breakthrough, heaven releases it. That is why I now charge you. Begin to speak as heaven speaks. Speak as one seated in heavenly places, not as one waiting at the gates. This is your turn to engage. Lift your voice. Declare the end of delay. Prophecy over your life, your home, your purpose, your finances. Speak light into every area that once echoed with disappointment. Say aloud, the waiting has ended. The war is won. For every time you speak with conviction, another chain breaks, another angel moves, another miracle unfolds. But hear this truth. Spiritual warfare is not just shouting into the air. It is aligning with divine order. Your authority flows from your obedience. Heaven only reinforces what aligns with God's will. So purify your intentions, humble your heart, and let your warfare be rooted in love, not anger. You are not fighting to prove your strength. You are fighting to enforce God's victory over your life. I have seen the armies of heaven gather. They are prepared. Swords drawn. Shields lifted. The command has been issued. But they await one signal. Your voice. The angels assigned to you cannot move until you declare the word that activates their mission. Do not let fear silence you. Heaven's armies move at the sound of faith. Beloved one, understand this divine mystery. Prayer is not asking. Prayer is activation. Worship is not emotion. Worship is warfare. Every praise you utter sends confusion into the enemy's camp. Every hallelujah becomes a weapon of disruption against the darkness. When you lift your hands, heaven responds. When you stand in faith, the battle turns. This is the urgency of the moment. Heaven has broken the seal, but now earth must agree. You must partner with heaven through prayer, declaration, and unwavering trust. Stand in the authority of one who has already won. The delays have been destroyed, but their residue must be cleared by your voice. The kingdom is backing you, and the armies of light are surrounding you. You are not alone. You are not powerless. You are chosen for victory. Now, lift your voice and declare, I engage in divine warfare. I take back what is mine. For even as you speak these words, angelic hosts are moving. The fire of God surrounds you. The power of the Almighty shields you. This is the moment to rise. This is your hour to fight not as a victim of delay, but as a vessel of divine triumph. Type I am a divine warrior in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 3344 is now activating heavenly protection and strength around you. He loved one, hear me now, for the atmosphere around you has shifted. The divine reversal has begun. Everything that once worked against you is now being commanded to work for you. The same delays that once hindered you are being transformed into divine accelerators. The hand of God has entered your story and turned it upside down. The unseen currents of time, the spiritual structures of resistance, the patterns of waiting, all of them are now bending to serve your destiny. I, Archangel Michael, stand as witness to the movement of heaven in your favor. The command has gone forth from the throne. Restore what was stolen. Redeem what was delayed. Even now, restoration angels are gathering the fragments of your past, dreams lost, opportunities missed, time wasted, and weaving them into a new tapestry of divine perfection. Every moment that seemed wasted was not lost, it was preserved for this hour of reversal. The spiritual scales have tipped. For every tear you cried, double joy has been decreed. For every delay you endured, multiplied blessings are being prepared. Heaven is not merely giving you back what you lost, heaven is returning it in overflow. The years that the locusts devoured are being repaid in abundance. The hands that once held you back will now be forced to witness your elevation. The reversal is total. It touches finances, relationships, purpose, peace, and timing. But, beloved, this reversal does not come quietly. It comes with thunder. Heaven's decree is violent against the forces that restrained you. You will feel the spiritual pressure building, circumstances rearranging suddenly, people appearing without explanation, events aligning with impossible precision. These are the tremors of divine justice. This is what happens when heaven reclaims its own. Do not fear the shaking. When the reversal begins, everything unstable must fall away. Some connections will be severed, some doors will close forever, and some familiar paths will vanish. These are not losses, they are proofs that the new season has begun. You cannot carry old weights into new dimensions. Every ending you face in this season is a doorway to your new beginning. I have seen the divine blueprint unfolding before you, and it is radiant with redemption. The enemy believed he had written the end of your story, but heaven has written the script. What was once your place of pain will now become your place of proclamation. The reversal is not partial. It is comprehensive. Even the smallest details of your life are being rewritten by grace. You will soon begin to experience moments that defy logic, unexpected breakthroughs, unexplainable favor, sudden peace in places where there was once turmoil. These are not coincidences. They are signs that the decree has taken effect. The reversal began the moment you believed again. The moment you said, "Yes, Lord," the tide turned. Beloved, this is why I am sent to you now. Heaven does not want you to miss the flow of this divine turnaround. You must stay aligned, heart pure, faith steadfast, spirit alert. Do not let weariness rob you of perception. Many will look at their circumstances and see chaos. Only those with eyes of faith will recognize that chaos is construction. Heaven is building something that can only rise after the ground has been shaken. Remember, reversal is not restoration alone. It is vindication. The tables are turning in your favor because divine justice demanded it. Those who misunderstood you will see the truth. Those who mocked your patience will witness your promise. The enemy who delayed you will now be forced to watch you walk freely through the gates you once tried to guard. The reversal has begun, and it cannot be undone. Heaven has spoken. The decree is sealed in eternal fire. Everything that once resisted you now assists you. Every chain that held you is now a testimony of your freedom. You are standing in the early light of fulfilled prophecy. Lift your head, beloved. The morning of restoration has broken through the night of waiting. The first fruits of divine reversal are already visible. Look closely, and you will see them. The storm is over. The darkness has lifted. And now, by heaven's command, the reversal has begun. Type "the reversal has begun" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing Ode 4444 is now restoring every loss and multiplying every promise. Beloved, lift your eyes toward the heavens and listen to what I am about to reveal. When God moves, creation responds. When heaven decrees, earth echoes. The signs that surround you now are not random. They are divine confirmations. The alignment of time, the shift in energy, the repetition of numbers, the awakening of your dreams. These are all whispers from heaven declaring that the reversal has begun and the delay is over. I, Archangel Michael, speak as a witness to these movements. I have seen the skies part when the Lord sends forth His word. I have heard the sound of thunder that carries revelation to those chosen to hear. And now, heaven's activity has intensified over your life. The winds of change are no longer subtle. They roar with divine urgency. Every sign, every encounter, every stirring in your spirit is evidence that heaven's eyes are fixed on you. Some of you have been seeing the same numbers again and again. 1111, 333, 777. These are not coincidences. They are markers of divine timing. Heaven is communicating that your appointed season has arrived. The same God who placed the stars in perfect alignment has aligned your destiny with divine fulfillment. The patterns you see, the songs that seem to follow you, the words that repeat themselves through strangers, all of it is heaven speaking in ode to your spirit. It is time. You will begin to feel heaven's rhythm within your own heartbeat. Your discernment will sharpen. You will wake from dreams carrying prophetic messages. You will sense shifts in the air before they manifest in your life. These are the evidences of divine acceleration. The earth is groaning, the atmosphere is vibrating, and your spirit is awakening because the new has begun to move through the old. But beloved, understand this. Not all signs are meant to comfort you. Some are meant to direct you. When the winds change direction, it is heaven urging you to move with it. Do not ignore divine signals. When you feel prompted to act, speak, or leave behind something that no longer aligns with your calling, do it swiftly. The Spirit of God will confirm every instruction through repetition, peace, and timing. Delay in obedience is still delay. I tell you this with heavenly urgency. Heaven's signs are your roadmap in this season. The miracle is not hidden. It is being revealed through patterns. When you feel the sudden need to pray, that is a sign. When a long-forgotten promise rises again in your heart, that is a sign. When unexpected favor meets you without explanation, that is a sign. These are not coincidences. They are prophecies unfolding before your eyes. You must be spiritually awake now more than ever. Heaven is speaking through weather patterns, through unexpected encounters, through songs that repeat in your mind. Even the silence of God in certain areas is a message, for silence is never absence. It is instruction in disguise. Your ability to discern will determine how swiftly you walk through this next door. The signs are multiplying because the window of manifestation is narrowing. Heaven is confirming. You are in the divine hour. The veil between the seen and unseen is thinning. Those who watch with spiritual eyes will see the light of fulfillment break through. Those who ignore will miss what was prepared for them. The final confirmations are here, and heaven is declaring, watch closely. Move when I move. Beloved, I urge you, do not dismiss these divine communications as chance. They are the handwriting of God across the canvas of your days. The sky itself is preaching your prophecy. You are surrounded by reminders that the promise is alive and moving toward you. Pay attention, for every sign is leading you closer to the fulfillment of the word that has been spoken over your life. Type ISE the signs in the comments if you received this message. Blessing code 1010 is now aligning your life with divine timing and heavenly order. Beloved listener, as heaven's signs manifest around you, I invite you to take a prophetic step of alignment. When you give to this ministry, you are not giving to man, you are sowing into the movement of heaven. Every offering becomes a spark that carries the word of God into more hearts, awakening more souls who are still trapped in delay. I, Michael, declare this truth. Your seed becomes a divine signal. As you sow through super thanks, membership, or through the PayPal link in the video description, you send a message into the spiritual realm. I am part of heaven's mission. Every act of giving is a decree that breaks the power of stagnation. Scripture says, those who sow in tears shall reap with joy. Today, heaven says, those who sow in faith shall reap with fire. When you give, you are joining the angelic movement to spread the light of deliverance across the earth. The same reversal that God is releasing in your life will touch every soul reached through your obedience. This is not a donation. It is a divine collaboration. Your giving becomes a prophetic echo of the signs you have just heard. So act with urgency, sow with faith, and declare aloud, my seed carries heaven's fire. Let your giving speak louder than your waiting. Beloved one, listen with reverence, for heaven has entered its active phase. The angelic hosts have been released. What was once restrained in divine timing has now burst forth into motion. I, Archangel Michael, stand at the head of heaven's armies, and I tell you the truth. The decree has been signed. The gates have opened, and the angelic ranks are now descending with assignments of fulfillment, restoration, and protection. You have felt the shift in your atmosphere. The heaviness has begun to lift. The nights that once felt suffocating are giving way to supernatural peace. These are not coincidences. They are the signs of angelic intervention. For years, your prayers have summoned heaven's attention, and now the answer is moving toward you on wings of divine authority. The air is charged with holy movement. What was delayed by interference has now been set in motion by divine command. I have seen the hosts preparing. They carry scrolls marked with names, each one glowing with the seal of the Almighty. Your name is among them. Your petitions, written in light, are being carried to their final destination. These angels do not travel slowly, they move in obedience to faith. Each time you believe, they accelerate. Each time you doubt, they pause. Faith is the language that fuels their mission. Doubt is the barrier that slows their flight. That is why, beloved, you must guard your belief as though your destiny depends upon it, because it does. The release of the angelic hosts means that heaven has moved from planning to performance. The time for waiting is over. These angels come not to observe, but to execute. Some come carrying healing. Others come with restoration of finances. Others are assigned to relationships, to destiny alignments, to generational blessings. They are heaven's enforcers, sent to deliver what belongs to you. Do not underestimate what is unfolding around you. The release of angelic hosts is not poetic language. It is a literal event in the spirit realm. Angels are real, and their presence alters everything they touch. You may feel sudden warmth, sense divine peace, or encounter moments of awe that silence your thoughts. These are evidences that you are surrounded by activity beyond human sight. And yet, beloved, there is a mystery you must understand. Angels respond to divine order, not emotion. They are moved by obedience, not desperation. Many cry out for help, but few command in faith. You must learn to speak with authority, declare what God has promised, and heaven's armies will act. When you say, "I receive what has been released," the angels assigned to your case begin to deliver. When you say, "No more delay," the spirits of obstruction lose jurisdiction over your life. Even now, I see movement, houses of darkness being overturned, barriers of fear collapsing, time itself bending to divine synchronization. The angels of recompense are visiting households that have been waiting for years. The angels of breakthrough are standing at the gates of provision. The angels of peace are entering places of chaos. The earth is stirring because heaven is descending. Beloved, you must participate in this movement. Do not remain a spectator of your own miracle. Speak as one in command. Declare aloud that your home, your family, your path, your calling are surrounded by divine guardians. The more you decree, the stronger their movement becomes. Heaven's power flows through the words of the faithful. You have authority. Use it. Let your faith be unshakable. The enemy will attempt to create noise, but remember this: angels do not retreat in the presence of noise. They advance in the presence of faith. The sound of your belief is louder than any whisper of fear. When you pray tonight, know that you are not praying alone. There are legions standing beside you, responding to your voice. I, Michael, am among them. My sword is drawn. The command has been given. We go forth under the authority of the Almighty to deliver what has been promised. Your miracle is no longer approaching. It is in motion. Every obstacle has been marked for removal. Every delay spirit has been stripped of power. The angelic hosts have been released, and their mission is you. Type "I am surrounded by angels" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 5555 is now surrounding your home with divine hosts and heavenly protection. Beloved one, I speak now with the full weight of heaven's urgency. The final countdown has begun. The decrees have been written, the angels have been released, and the trumpet of fulfillment is sounding in the spiritual realm. There is no more delay. The divine clock, which once paused 3 times, now ticks toward completion. You are living in the final window before manifestation, and the decisions you make now will determine the shape of your destiny for years to come. I, Archangel Michael, have been commanded to deliver this message with clarity and fire. Heaven has entered the final phase of your miracle's delivery. The countdown has started, and the enemy knows it. That is why the pressure feels heavier, why distractions intensify, why old emotions suddenly resurface. It is the resistance of darkness sensing its defeat. The enemy is terrified because he knows that heaven's decree has crossed the threshold from preparation to performance. You may feel restlessness in your spirit, as if something is about to happen. That is not anxiety, beloved. That is divine alignment. Heaven is calling you into synchronized motion. This is not the moment for hesitation or fear. Every second in this divine countdown matters. Heaven is measuring obedience in minutes, not months. The next step you take in faith will trigger events that could change the trajectory of your life forever. You must understand this truth. When the countdown begins, divine momentum cannot be stopped, but it can be missed. This is why the Spirit is calling you to immediate action, to prayer, to forgiveness, to letting go of what no longer aligns, to stepping into the assignments heaven placed on your heart long ago. You are being summoned to move in faith as though the miracle has already arrived. Those who move with heaven will walk in divine acceleration. Those who hesitate will watch as the moment passes them by. The countdown is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to awaken you. God is not sending warning. He is giving opportunity. This is the moment to act with precision. When heaven releases the decree, it expects earth to respond. Your obedience, your declarations, your worship, all of them are signals that tell heaven, I am ready for fulfillment. As I stand in the presence of the throne, I see the timer of heaven glowing with light. The final instructions have been issued to the angelic hosts. Some are already positioned above your home, above your workplace, above your path. They carry the energy of divine execution. Once the signal comes, manifestation will unfold in rapid sequence. One event will trigger another, like falling dominoes of grace and glory. What seemed delayed will suddenly cascade into completion. But beloved, do not mistake stillness for inaction. Even now, heaven is moving behind the scenes, adjusting the details, aligning the right people, preparing divine appointments. The silence before manifestation is sacred. It is the sound of divine precision. Trust the timing. The final countdown is not punishment. It is mercy. It is God giving you the final chance to prepare, to release bitterness, to cleanse your heart so that the blessing may rest upon pure ground. This is the moment to finalize your faith. Do not speak as one who is waiting. Speak as one who is expecting. Do not pray as one who is unsure. Pray as one who knows heaven has heard. Do not look at the natural. Fix your eyes on the unseen. For when the final second strikes, everything will shift at once. Heaven's countdown will end with an explosion of miracles that will astonish even those who doubted you. Beloved, this is not the time to shrink back. It is the time to lean forward in obedience. Heaven has already begun the motion. Now it waits for your agreement. The time of preparation has ended. The season of waiting is over. The moment of manifestation has arrived. This is the final countdown, and when it strikes zero, the floodgates of fulfillment will burst open across your life. Type I am ready for manifestation in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 6666 is now aligning your timing with heaven's countdown. Beloved one, I now speak from the moment heaven has long awaited. The miracle has arrived. A delay has ended. The war has ceased. The decree that was once sealed has been executed. The manifestation you prayed for, the promise you wept over, the door that seemed eternally closed, it is now open before you. Heaven's word has materialized in your life, and what once felt like distant prophecy has become living reality. I, Archangel Michael, stand as a witness to the faith that brought you here. Every battle you fought in silence, every prayer that felt unanswered, every moment you almost gave up, heaven recorded them all. They became the currency that purchased this moment. And now, as the trumpet of fulfillment sounds, the angels who have been standing guard over your promise are stepping aside to let you enter the reality of answered prayer. The miracle has arrived, not as you expected, but as heaven ordained. You will begin to sense the shift tangibly. Peace will fill rooms where anxiety once lived. Provision will flow where lack once lingered. The right people will appear, the right opportunities will align, and the right timing will unfold with divine precision. Heaven's clock and your life are now in synchronization. The spiritual delay that distorted your rhythm has been replaced by divine harmony. Beloved, miracles rarely announce themselves with noise. They appear in quiet certainty, in sacred moments when your spirit simply knows something has changed. Some of you will wake and feel a weight lifted. Some will receive news that alters the course of your life. Others will look around and realize that what they once begged for is already standing beside them. This is how heaven works. It fulfills promises with elegance, not chaos. But I must tell you this truth. When miracles arrive, they require stewardship. Do not treat lightly what God has trusted you to carry. The very thing you once cried for now carries responsibility. Heaven gives not only to bless you, but to expand the kingdom through you. Guard your miracle with humility. Protect it through obedience. Speak life over it daily. For the enemy, though defeated, still watches for careless hearts that mismanage divine gifts. The arrival of your miracle is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of your divine assignment. This blessing is not random. It is strategic. It is meant to position you for greater purpose. The reason heaven fought so fiercely for your release is because your miracle is not merely for you. It is for every life that will be touched through your obedience. You have been entrusted with divine evidence that God is still faithful, still active, still sovereign over time. Beloved, remember how long the delay lasted. Remember the nights of questioning, the days of silence, the years of endurance. Those memories are not to burden you. They are to remind you that this fulfillment was not cheap. It cost faith. It required surrender. It demanded perseverance. And now, because you did not give up, you have entered the manifestation of divine promise. This is your harvest season. The ground that once refused to yield is now overflowing with fruit. The promises that felt unreachable are now within your grasp. The wait was not wasted. Every delay was a rehearsal for this moment of divine revelation. Heaven did not forget you. Heaven was preparing you to handle the magnitude of what was coming. I, Michael, have fought beside you through the storms. I have seen you rise when everything tried to pull you down. And now, I say this with authority from the throne. Your season of answered prayer is here. Step into it with gratitude. Walk into it with reverence. Declare it boldly. My miracle is here, and it shall not be taken from me. For the heavens have sealed your blessing and light. The decree has been fulfilled. The chains are broken. The silence is over. What was once a promise has become your portion. You are now standing inside the manifestation of divine prophecy. The miracle has arrived, and it bears your name. Type "My miracle has arrived" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 7777. is now confirming divine fulfillment over your life. Beloved one, hear this final word from the courts of heaven. The miracle has been released, the delays have been broken, and the reversal has taken full effect. But now, heaven gives you one last instruction. Guard what you have been given. Do not allow the noise of the world to steal what divine silence has birthed within you. Protect your faith. Preserve your peace. And walk in constant awareness that you are now living in fulfilled prophecy. I, Archangel Michael, stand as witness that your journey through delay has transformed you. You are no longer who you were when this began. You are stronger, wiser, and anointed with discernment. Heaven calls you now not merely a receiver, but a keeper of divine mysteries. This moment is not just an ending, it is an awakening. What began as a cry for deliverance has become a commission for destiny. The Father says, "Guard your promise, for what I have given is holy." Let no bitterness, pride, or fear return to reclaim what grace has delivered. Stay aligned with obedience. Stay anchored in prayer. Stay clothed in gratitude. For the same faith that birthed your miracle is the faith that will sustain it. As you step forward from this message, know that the armies of heaven go with you. Every word spoken from the throne remains active over your life. The season of delay is behind you, and the path of purpose stretches before you. Heaven's light surrounds you, heaven's favor follows you, and heaven's strength upholds you. Walk in peace, beloved. The victory is complete. Type "I will guard my miracle" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 9999 is now sealing divine permanence over your breakthrough. Beloved listener, as heaven's final instruction has been spoken, I call you to take part in this divine movement. This mission, the spreading of God's word, the breaking of spiritual delay across nations, moves forward through those who carry heaven's fire in their hearts. When you give, you are not giving to a channel. You are building an altar of light that reaches souls still trapped in darkness. Your seed becomes a living testimony. Every super thanks, every membership, every offering through the PayPal link in the description is a spiritual act of obedience that sends this message into more hearts ready for awakening. You are not funding words. You are fueling deliverance. As it is written, those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. And now heaven declares, those who partner in my word will partake in my wonders. When you give, you activate divine reciprocity. The same angels that protect this word will protect your home. I, Michael, release this decree. Your giving will return as divine acceleration, multiplied favor, and supernatural protection. The oil of increase is already flowing toward those who obey. This is not a request. It is a divine opportunity to join heaven's assignment on earth. So move in faith. Sow with holy expectation. Declare aloud, I am a partner in heaven's purpose. For even now, angels of harvest are being dispatched toward those who give in obedience.